So we've got lots of room to work with. You don't have to roll out that much clay when you're doing, working with clay, but this is what I did. So here we are. Okay. So because I don't do this very often, we're going to play around a little bit. And if y'all have any questions, please let me know. Um, like I said, some of the things I use to condition my clay is definitely a pasta machine. It's a necessary thing. Otherwise, you're freaking there's no way we would still be here tomorrow, me conditioning clay, if I didn't have that sucker. So first, I'm just going to put down this alcohol ink. We're just going to put a little bit down, and it's kind of just sitting wherever I put it. Now I'm going to grab, I don't know which one to grab. This is the tricky part. Let's see what's in this aquamarine. Some of these, so you're supposed to clean the tips. So I'm just going to drop some of that on here. And it's okay. Let's see. This one is called patina. I feel like I need a lot more alcohol on this. So this is it's not really running anywhere, which is kind of nice. And I know this is going to look like a hot mess, but yes, it absolutely would. And I'll show you that effect that it would give in just a minute. What I use the spritzer for is to create an effect of like bubbles, because basically it will white out whatever your ink you put down. Okay, that's enough of that. And let's just grab this one. Some of these might be too similar. That one's another green. I don't want any more green. So we'll see how they work. Oh, see now, see how that one, it's just not as intense. It's not as dark. As soon as I put it on, that's what I mean by it doesn't, I mean, it works probably great for certain things. And it'll work fine for this. And y'all know what's Carrie's favorite color? We all know what that is. It is. Now, I usually put this in a, yes, thank you very much. Yes, blue is my favorite color. So, in my opinion, it's the only color that should exist. No, I'm just kidding. But this brass that I'm trying to make sure it's mixed up, usually I will put this, and I'm kind of nervous about doing this with this tip on. So normally I would put the brass in one of these mini bottles, which I probably should do anyway, but we're just gonna wing it. So I'm gonna drop a little bit of that down. All right, that's enough. Telling myself that's enough. That's enough. Now I'm gonna take some more of my alcohol and just kind of break that up a little bit. All right, now we're ready. Here we go, guys. And this stuff, I may regret this completely, but hopefully it won't fly everywhere. We're gonna see. And we can always add more. And I'm sorry if the noise. You know what? I can mute. Let me mute. Well, does that bother y'all? Let me know. If it bothers you, let me know. I'm sorry. Maybe I should mute my microphone. It's not? Okay. I still feel, I'm going to Okay. All right, we're not done. This is the first layer. So you can see, we get in a little closer. Let me see if I can kind of see how it's kind of just sitting. It is dried. Happy New Year to you too. So, of course, some of it went off, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. All right, let's put on some more. I lost a lot of my green, so we're going to go back and put some green in here and see. I don't know if y'all saw that, what it's doing right now. That green kind of spread out and expanded. So y'all wanted to know what spritzing it would do. Let's see if it works on clay, because honestly, I'd never spritz the clay before. Okay. It's really more subdued. It's already going away, so it really doesn't work, but it did create little pockets of white. I don't know if you can see that. So where that spritz really works well on is with when you're doing like using alcohol ink paper, just rubbing alcohol 91%. You want 91%, which they sell, in most stores. You don't want the 70%. So when I'm doing it on tiles, like ceramic tiles, it works better, right? And you want the ink to dry. That could have been the other reason why it didn't work, is the ink was still wet. So before you spritz, if you want that like bubble type effect, then you're going to need to wait till it dries. Okay, so we put down some green, which looks pretty nice. What other colors? I have this tranquil. I don't know what color this is. That's a pearl. I do have the mixative pearl. I can mix them together, but I don't know. All right, I'm not doing that one. Let's try some of this green. This is ocean green. I just want more green in here because there's a lot of blue. Not that that's a bad thing, but so I'm just going to let it sit there and see what it does. Not doing a whole lot. Here's a rainforest green. Now I might be getting too much green. We'll have to put some more of that brass too. Yeah, see how dark, incredibly pigmented the jacquard pinata is. I mean, just look at the difference. That's green. It looks black, but it's green. Isn't that crazy? So, depending on what you want to do, different alcohol inks will have different levels of pigment, as we just witnessed right there. So I had to add some alcohol to kind of dilute that. Tranquil. Yeah, I don't like that one. Okay. So now I'm going to try to move this brass around a little bit more than I did. Let's try this again. It's still pretty. I want the brass to kind of break up. I don't want it in clumps. I'm probably still going to have some clumps, and that's okay. Ooh, the alcohol is strong in here. Okay. I'm going to let the rest of that air dry. Okay. Now, see, it's kind of, let me do the light a little better because y'all are really not getting the full. I can, hang on, we're going to go off the hand, so we've got all of those beautiful little colors in there. There'll be, I don't know. I have a lot of the brass there, so I might just add more alcohol and move it around some more. If we do that. Yeah, this alcohol, I mean, I can dye my clay with alcohol ink. Like if I take white, but I'd have to mix it together. I'm not pushing that alcohol ink down into the clay and rolling it up and doing all those things with it. So it's just kind of hanging out on top of the clay. So here we go. Let's see. What other color could we use? Let's see. What is this one? This one says rose. Let's see what that looks like because I've never used that one before. And honestly, I've never used one of this brand's metal ones, so may not like it. Yeah. Not super thrilled with it, but whatever. Now I feel like I have way too much metal, so I'm just going to do a bunch of alcohol on here again, and then we're going to add more layers of something. Let's see. Did I like aquamarine glacier? I think glacier was the one I really liked. Yeah, that's a really pretty one. I am putting quite a bit on this. Okay. Yes, it does work really well. And actually, half of this clay is translucent. I mixed translucent with the white. So for that purpose, I didn't mention that, but yeah. So I have translucent actually mixed into this already. Yeah, we'll do that. Let me see. Pale. Ooh. The Laguna is, I don't know. I think it's going to come out too green if I do that again. Yeah. So to kind of get a pale color, what you would normally do is just add more alcohol and it'll dilute it. But we're just going to stick with that right now. And you can see it's just going. I'm just basically trying to keep it all on the clay. Really don't want it to go off the clay. So that's why I'm kind of concentrating on that outside edge. And the metals will try to bunch up together. That's what they like to do. Now, if I had been working on a smaller thing, I could pick it up and tilt it if I wanted to. But because this is so huge, I'm not going to be able to do that, but that's okay. Just gonna... All right, I think I want to let this kind of dry where it is. That blue in the bottom. That one's so pretty. All right. So this next step, we're going back to, where did my glacier go? Here we go. I'm going to add, because I have too much green in my opinion. So I'm going to add a strip of blue. Now remember, this isn't a painting, right? I'm going to be using my cutters to cut out areas of this. So if one part doesn't look good, it's okay. And then what I'll do is I will use UV resin over the top of this, which will make those colors pop even more. I still feel like I need like a really bright blue. So I'm going to go through these, and you know what? This one, where was it? Not the ocean green. This one was pretty bright blue. Let's just see. But it's just so diluted. I don't know. We're just going to let it sit. And I don't know if y'all can see this, but basically, let's kind of zoom in here. It's moving very, very slowly, but it's kind of doing its own kind of thing, right? I'm scared to put the pearl, even though I have this. So, shake until rattles, applying small amounts with ink. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to free pour these. Yeah, we'll try it. Let's just see. I mean, it's not going to be that big of a deal if it, like I said, I got plenty of spots that have gorgeous, parts, and I don't have to, Carrie is intrigued. All right, here we go. We're going to add some pearl. Ooh. All right, let's look at that. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? All right. Yes. All right, here's a blank spot over here. And then this one's gotten a little muddy in here. So I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to put some of this blue. Look at what that is doing. Oh my God, that's freaking amazing. Okay. I'm scared to blow it, but we're going to have to. Okay. I'm going to pull y'all up a little closer. I don't know if y'all can see that that well. Maybe if I do it a little bit further away. But it has lots of pretty, whoops, we forgot to put some over there, didn't we? So, I'm going to add a little bit of that blue right there. I'm going to start trying to cover up my spots. This time I'm just going to let it kind of do what it wants. I'm not going to force anything. Any place that's, like, in my opinion, a little too dark, let's just see what it does. Half of with alcohol is just experimenting, pretty much. But you see how it made little um, areas of blue there. And I kind of like that a lot. I'm going to see what this white does. We'll do right there. It's not really a true white. It's more of just like a pearl. And then I'm going to add some more blue. Yes, it does. It really does. I'm a little bit shocked. So I will be using that a little bit more. I'm going to try this too. I'm going to take my finger and just kind of smear it a little bit where I want it to go. Because I really would like to utilize all of this clay. I don't want any white spots at all. So we're getting there. All right. And over here a little bit. See if I just put that right there. See what that does. So you just keep layering and layering and layering until you get to the point, and you don't have to do this many layers. You absolutely don't. But I'm doing it because number one, it takes up time for my show, right? The more we play with it. But we're just going to just see how all this works. This, so I probably will do another one and just do these colors right here. Because if y'all could see that, it just looks amazing. It's got a little hint of purple with the blue and the bronze. And it is beautiful, just beautiful. And don't look at this as a whole. So when I go to cut, I'm going to be picking out a very small area of this entire slab to do my cut, right? So it's not going to be that big of a deal, that maybe some of it is a little bit too dark and all that kind of. We're going to add a little more of this pearl because I have decided I am with y'all. I'm loving it. And it really does seem to sit on top and lighten it up some. So let's just put more of it on. Look at that. Wow. Okay. I'm just going to let it sit and do its thing right now. Yeah. So we're going to let it sit for a second and just see where it goes, what it wants to do. And then it really did, because it was really too dark in some areas. And yeah, I just wasn't liking it. I like it much more now. It's got a lot of variety of colors in it. We could add like some purple, would have been cool, but I'm going to stick with this. And I'm not going to add, I don't think, anything else at this point. So we are going to let it dry a little bit. While we're doing that, what else can we talk about? If you want to know about different clays, or if there are any questions that anyone has about the inks themselves, I kind of went over that in the beginning, but if you're coming in, the majority of this is Ranger ink. Pinata, as we saw when we did this green, is extremely pigmented. It works really well with mixing it with the alcohol to dilute it some, but it's a very strong pigment. There's Marabou, which is another brand that I like, which I can't find my Marabou alcohol inks. I don't know where they are. This was the pearl that had that shimmer kind of effect, which we put down. This is what's kind of providing most of the metal gold in there. It's Pinata Brass, which is my favorite when it comes to the metals. And then we used rubbing alcohol, 91%. So we're going to see how that comes out. Now, when this dries and I start cutting into it, it because this ink is sitting on top of the clay, it's not going down into the clay. On the edges, it's going to crack. So think of it of like a film on top of the clay. So we're going to lose on the edges of some, but it will stick together like on the part that I'm cutting out. And I was trying to find a cutter that didn't have a whole lot of, what do you call that? Designs, because that kind of chops it up a little more. Like this one would probably be a good one. But if I tried to do it with something like this, where it has all those little cuts, that probably would not work well. It would peel off or something like that. So I want it to be kind of, I do like this shape. I know, turtles. I love doing the turtles, but they really do need, and we might could try a few because it would be cool to do the turtle in some of this. Somewhere in my bag of cutters, there is a mermaid tail. And I was really hoping I could find that. But since I reorganized and got organized, we'll just say got organized, right? For some reason, I can't find them. And for the longest time, they were just hanging out over here on the side. And sure enough, oh, wait, y'all aren't going to believe it. I turned around. Look what I found. No, no, nope. You really don't want to do that. And I mean, you could. Yeah, you definitely could. I don't know. It just would be, there would be like, okay, so you're going to have space in between all your pieces, and that alcohol ink, it's just easier to do a slab. So you can do it that way. Absolutely. It just, you're going to waste a lot of alcohol and ink doing it that way. Right? You're embossing. Yes, I know. So this is by my favorite, which the Bee's Knees Clay Creation. She knows exactly who I'm talking about. Some of the best cutters in the world. They are designed by her and her wife, and they live in Hawaii. Lucky dogs. But they have some of the most amazing products for clay makers, and they do specialize in the cutters, texture sheets, really amazing texture sheets, and they also do the silk screens, and I love her. The silk screens are amazing. And what else? I think they recently got into the transfer sheets, which transfers are something different. Like where you put it, you use white clay, you lay it down, and if you think of silly putty or even Play-Doh, where you could take back in the day a newspaper and transfer an image to the Play-Doh or the silly putty, then that's kind of what a transfer is like, except you use water. So you would lay the transfer down your white clay, and then you take it to the sink, and the paper part of that transfer washes off, leaving the image there. Um, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't know if I can get in trouble, but I'm going to hold this up, and then you can screenshot that right there. And that's where you would want to go if you're interested in any of these wonderful products. She's fast on shipping too. She has a Facebook group for, her buyers, and she'll, you know, super responsive. Like if you have an issue with anything. And so I almost 100% buy everything from her now, unless I need something. She might be too big for that, or might, I don't know. I would love for her to do that. That would be great. I've briefly mentioned it to her, but yeah, I don't know. They're pretty set in their, like, they do monthly. Well, actually, it's not monthly. It's like bi-monthly subscription boxes where she has a mystery box and they have a theme. And if you're subscribed, you get that box usually it's like every 2 months. And the last one that I did was the Christmas one. And then the next one was Mardi Gras. So there's also a lot of theme. And then she did one, and she'll have, like, if you're looking for animals, she'll have animals, she'll have different designs, even basic shapes. But what makes, and I feel like I'm doing an infomercial here. Yeah. So this is the reason why we're both saying, I do. I feel like if you subscribe now, you will get two for the price of, I feel like we should go into that. There's a beveled edge here, which makes the cutting more precise and reduces the amount of sanding that you need to do. So we're going to try using this mermaid tail on this, and this little shell goes at the top. Isn't that cute? So you can kind of see inside there. And I don't know if I got up close enough. I don't think it'll zoom in closer. I wanted to show you the beveled edges because not many do that. And let me tell you, I've gone on Etsy and because the good cutters, you're going to have to get somebody that makes them. Do not ever buy on Amazon or in the big stores, like the craft stores, because they're crap. I don't like the metal cutters at all because they leave a little bump on the side. The only thing I will use are these resin 3D printed cutters, and that's it, because everything else is crap. Now, you can go on the People book, and there are polymer clay destash groups, and you can get people that are destashing and get some great deals in those groups without having to pay full price for a bunch of cutters. So just letting you know. Okay. Hi, Dolce. We're doing this is my studio time. So what we've done so far is we've did the white clay. So this was white clay. Then we dropped a bunch of alcohol ink on it. We used all of these alcohol inks. We used alcohol, lots of alcohol, which might be triggering some of you if you had a really, really good New Year's Eve. If so, I am sorry. Carrie was asleep by 10 o'clock. So that was my New Year's Eve. I thought yesterday I did not feel good. I slept for like 3 hours. I was supposed to have a show yesterday afternoon, like at 5. I woke up at 5:20 from this 4-hour nap and was like, oh my God. So I had to reschedule my show, which I did, because there's just no way it was happening. I was wiped, whatever I had wiped me out. And then later that night, I was like, well, now this is going to suck because tonight I'm not going to sleep. Don't y'all know, I went to sleep like by 10 and I didn't wake up till 5. And then I got up, drank a cup of coffee, and went back to bed till 8. I never sleep like that, ever. So that was like shocking. Okay, I'm going to go over this with the heating gun again. So you might hear a little noise. We just want to make sure everything is dry. There's a little bit there. Not quite. And then I'm going to show y'all kind of what it looks like all over. So we can kind of pick out areas that we want to. Oh, don't throw it on the ground and then turn it on. Sorry. All right. Yeah. Not too long. Honestly, with that thing, it doesn't take too long. I have left them to make sure, but it'll be okay. So let's look at this from a little bit of a distance there. I really like over here, that right there. Oh, wow. Oh, that, okay. I could probably do spiked hot chocolate. Depends on what it was spiked with, though. I did do, we did like at 8 o'clock last night. I had peach Bellini, and that was the extent of my New Year's Eve celebration. Oh my God, I love rum chata. Okay, that's a weakness of mine. I do love that. I'm all about, if I'll have a few mixed drink. I rarely drink. I really, but if I do, it's going to be like a margarita or something grossly sweet like pina colada. Sometimes I'll have cranberry and vodka, but that's about it. Cranberry and vodka. I think we're good here. Okay, so the next part it would be finding the shape that we want that'll fit where we want it to fit. I really like this area right in here, so I am going to, whoops, what did I forget? Now, I really don't want to use my cornstarch because of the alcohol ink, but I'm going to have to. We're going to pray it doesn't stick. If it sticks, oh well. That is going to be gorgeous. Okay, so I'm just pressing down really hard with the cutter. Then we lift up. And then I'm going to clean the cutter in between because of the alcohol inks gets on the edges and it will make it super sticky. So, and actually the alcohol will also keep the cutter from sticking as well. And now it is going to dye the edges of my cutter, but look, you can kind of see the blue. It's okay. It's not going to change the cut or anything like that. Okay. Almost got stuck there. Okay, so we've got 2 of those. Which one else? We got to do a mermaid one. We just got to. Okay, I'm rating you. Sadie, is that one? The number 1 lady maid. Got it. Okay. Then we're going to do, I think I'm going to do the mermaid tail. Ooh, I really like that a lot. Because I'm not sure how this is going to come out. We're going to do it in an area that, and you know what I'm going to do? Remember we were talking about using this to spritz? We're going to spray. Here, I want y'all to be able to see this. I don't know if it's going to work. And it didn't. Not really. Not like it does on tile. But that's okay. It's all right. Okay, here we go. Right there. Now I had to stand up so I could. And see, that's what happens. So that's a fail. And I don't know if I can get it out. I think it's because I sprayed the alcohol and it didn't dry. Dang it, dang it, dang it. But I will show y'all what it would have looked like regardless. Now I have to clean out that cutter, but you can see it just, like I said, using the alcohol ink with detailed cutters, It's hit and miss, and most likely it's just not going to work because that alcohol ink is going to stick in all those grooves, which you can see it did. So we're not getting any mermaid tails. I'm not going to even try with the sea turtle. This is a smaller one, so let me do this one here. That'll be pretty. There is another brand that I do like her cutters. She has a website. So if you're interested in brands that I like, you can message me and I'll let you know what those are. I really like that. That came out pretty. Let's do some more of these. I need to do some that aren't, that huge because some people don't like big earrings like I do. So here we are. We've got 5 minutes left. So, okay. I will, so what I do with the leftover clay is I roll it together and then I run it through the pasta machine and it makes it makes another amazing slab of clay that has almost this like crackle finish in it. Yeah. So you just keep using it. So all of that alcohol ink will kind of crackle and it is. It really is. So I really like, I don't know if you can see those that well. I like that. That pair of earrings is going to be beautiful. That pair of earrings is going to be beautiful. So you can kind of see where, and I'm going to do some more over here and we'll do some over here, but I just got to find different shapes that I can use for that. Whoops. Sorry. And then let's see. I didn't do one. Do y'all think this is too big? I don't think it's too big. Let's go for it. Go big or go home. Now, I'm not really sure how this one is going to work with that middle part. Hopefully, oh, it worked. Yay. Oh, thank God. Okay, it almost stuck on that last one there. So let's look. Hang on. I'm sorry to run. Look at that pair. Just look at that. So the middle part will be gone, right? When I lift this clay up, that middle part I'm going to take out. So they're kind of like a hoop in a way, a teardrop. And that will be just gorgeous. You can look at the ones here. Y'all can get an idea from this angle what all this will look like. So with that, we've got 3 minutes left. Yes, that would make a great pendant. And thank you for reminding me about that because I did want to make some pendants out of this. Another shape I really like that I use a lot is this one. I just like that with the middle. It's a great shape. It's small enough for most people, but it's bigger, without being, super big.